The time has come for a Terran versus Protoss. A man who sleeps on a bed of cheese. He is RuFF. And his opponent spawning in the top right as the purple Protoss player. Representing Flipside Tactics, he's puCK. puCK, of course, very well-known NA Protoss. Was actually one of the most successful North American Protosses in 2014, I believe. He was one of the few guys to actually beat Koreans in the WCS system that allowed literally any of them to just qualify and take all of our money. Thankfully, that'll never happen again. By defeating players like Hyun, especially. He's pretty much famous for his Protoss versus Zerg. Unfortunately for puCK, Legacy of the Void's been a bit of a rocky start because Zerg is really overpowered versus Protoss. And that's coming from a Terran player. Zerg is really good. I'm pretty sure the DreamHack qualifier for Europe ended with the top 8 or 4 or something like. It was like all Zerg. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the game. This is a completely different matchup, so I can just whine about my own shit instead. RuFF's going for fast double gas after this CC first into racks. This is a kinky play, but puCK isn't really much for cheese. puCK's not a one-baser. puCK likes to play the macro game. I think one of the things that sometimes hurts puCK's play is he can get a little bit too fancy sometimes. Whereas some other players who just do sharper build orders with less bells and trinkets on them can be a little bit more effective since they're sharper. Naturally, you know. A knife with a really fancy ivory handle doesn't cut as well as just a straight up Bowie knife that has a really owned blade. So, take one that's not open. puCK with the quick Nexus, of course. And Summer underscore coming in. So, I'm really interested to see where RuFF takes this. Because RuFF is known for doing... Honestly, guys, RuFF does weird shit. Straight up. That's what we're expecting here. Let's be real. None of you guys tuned in, seeing RuFF's name, expecting anything other than the craziest shit that there is in StarCraft 2. puCK has checked literally everywhere around his base now because he knows that he's playing versus RuFF. And if you guys have ever played versus RuFF, let me tell you, I've played versus RuFF. Every game versus RuFF is, you see him on the loading screen, and RuFF's a nice guy too. But every time you see him on the loading screen, your first thought is, shit. Because you know he's going to do something weird, you know he's not going to play standard, and you know that if you're not 100% ready for whatever weird thing he does, he's gonna style on you. He's gonna skeet on your face, and that's not gonna be fun. So there's the really fast Cyclone. I expected this much, and probably Starport. All right, I was expecting the Cyclone upgrade, the anti-armor upgrade. In case you guys don't know, the Cyclone does 400 damage over 17 seconds, I think, to a unit. And if you get this, there's the upgrade, Mag Field Accelerator. That actually makes the Cyclone deal an extra 400 damage to armored units. So it does 800 damage to armored units over 17 seconds. It's very, very strong. And when you have a couple Cyclones, I think three Cyclones with the upgrade can actually snipe a Nexus within, what is it? I think it takes most of the time. So it'd be like 15 seconds. But then obviously you scale that to 5 Cyclones, and you basically turn into the robot cyborg version of Polt. So he's going to follow it up with a tank. He's spreading some supply depots around his base because he wants to have full vision in case a Warp Prism attempts to assail his base. He's going to go for a Raven. Like I said, guys, I actually never seen RuFF play TvP, so I straight up have no fucking clue what's going on. Now, puCK, on the other hand, he's got his Robo Facility coming in, Blink, all very standard tools of the Protoss trade. He's taking a third base. He's already mining. He's taking the gas in his natural. But the real question now becomes, what is he going to do? So this adept comes up to the wall. He sees a bunker. He sees a tank. And you know what? If you're puCK, you're like, well, I'm still playing versus RuFF, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. The adept's just going to pretty much wait, I guess. Maybe after the Raven, he goes into Cloaked Banshee. I don't know. It looks like he wants to start a third command center. I think this is going to be his third CC. Yeah, there we go. So RuFF, third base on the way. And tank's going to finish up. So with 2 tanks, I guess we'll go up to 3. I mean, I'm just curious if he's going to only build these 2. What do you have? Just 1 Cyclone? That's it? I expected him to build a lot more Cyclones, but I guess going back into tanks a little bit sooner is a safer, more easy to survive style. Plus, one Cyclone is all you really need if you have the mag field accelerator, because it will kill a Warp Prism so fast that Protoss players will literally cry into jars. Or cups or bottles, whatever the Protoss has nearby to cry into. Maybe even a sink, I don't know. So RuFF's gonna spread his tanks out, and he's just gonna take it slow. We're gonna see some mech versus Protoss here, boys. You should probably have expected this when you saw that it was RuFF playing. In the meantime, puCK gonna work on the rocks, maybe go for a fourth. Warp Prism is on the way. I guess he's gonna try to find an entry point. And to be fair, the biggest weakness of this army is, are tanks good? Yeah, I guess, if you're fighting against a clumped up army. Next question. Are they good at defending shit like this? Not really. So Warp Prism that comes in here, it's just the Cyclone. He'll have to move the Raven. He doesn't have a lot of mobile units right now. The Widow Mines are going to help, but he's putting them out front. And puCK's aware of this. He's got his observer. He knows. He knows what's up. And a big Blink Stalker push could actually get a lot of work done. He doesn't see this Widow Mine, though, so might lose something here. RuFF's moving out. He wants to take this third base. But I think he could also just bring his observer over and blink up. Oh, wow, the Raven. He killed the observer. Oh, that's actually really fucking annoying. Okay, well, actually pretty good play there with the observer to actually deny this blink up. But now the Warp Prism will grant the high vision. He's going to go right to the main base. Raven goes down. Siege Tank goes down. And there's the Warp Prism. He's going to continue to produce more forces. The Cyclone is not enough to defend against this. He's bringing everything. There's a point defense trying to help keep his forces alive. The Marines in the bunker are going to continue to fire away. But the Siege Tank siege. The Stalkers blink forward. One tank down. Tasteless. Two tanks down. The Window Mine. He's not in range. He's like, okay, that's fine. You can have your third base, that you planetary fortress. I'm just gonna kill all your shit. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's killing all of his shit right now. Blinks forward, one tank down, two tanks down, and GG.